All right, let's go over order of operations. So, order of operations refers to the order in which you solve an expression or equation. Now, an expression is just basically an equation without an equal sign. So, like for instance, 3 plus 6 times 4. This would be an expression. So, if you did this from left to right, you would get the following: 3 plus 6 times 4, and then 3 plus 6 is 9, right? So then 9 times 4, so the answer would be 36. But this is incorrect. You need to follow Pemdas, which stands for, which is the order of operations. It stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Following Pemdas, you would do the multiplication first and then the addition. So 3 plus 6 times 4, you would do the 6 times 4 first, then get 24, then you would get 3 plus 24 equals 27. So to demonstrate another point, let us do the following. 3 plus 5 divided by 2 times 6. Okay, so first you would do what is in the parentheses. So 3 plus 5 in the parentheses equals 8. And then it would be 8 divided by 2 times 6. Now, if we just followed Pemdas, we would think that multiplication would go first, but this is not true. Multiplication and division are on the same level. So if we have gotten rid of any parentheses and exponents, which I do not believe we will see in this unit in 5th grade, exponents specifically, we'll see parentheses for sure, then we will solve any multiplication or division from left to right. Okay, so for example, 3 plus 5 divided by 2 times 6, right? Then we do 3 plus 5 first, we get 8 divided by 2 times 6. Then we would do the division of 8 divided by 2 first and get 4 times 6, and then the answer would be 24. So we did the division first because it was before the multiplication from left to right. The same rule applies to addition and subtraction, as in they are on the same level, and subtraction will be done before addition if it is further to the left. So PEMDAS is basically split up into 4 levels. Okay? There's parentheses, which is level 1. So you want to do anything in parentheses first. Then exponents would be level 2. Multiplication and division are on the same level. You would do those from left to right. So those are level 3. And then addition and subtraction last are level 4. So you go through each level and solve any part of the equation that is part of that level from left to right. So, for example, this is quite a long expression, but this will be a good example of how to do this, right? So first, it's 5 times 5 minus, in parentheses, minus 6 plus 4, in parentheses, divided by 2 minus 5 times 2. Okay? So the first thing we do is go through level 1, which is parentheses, from right to left. Or, I'm sorry, it says from right to left, but it is actually from left to right. So let's just change that. I apologize. From left to right. Okay. So right now we have 5 times 5 minus 6 plus 4, okay, divided by 2 minus 5 times 2. So the first thing we're going to do is do 5 times 5, because that is the parentheses all the way on the left. So we get 25. The rest of these stay the same, okay? Then we drop another line, and we're going to do the 6 plus 4, right? Because that's the next parentheses. So then it would be 25 minus 10 divided by 2 minus 5 times 2. Okay, so then we will see that there are no exponents, so we skip level 2. We don't have to do any exponents because there are none. Then we go to level 3. which is multiplication and division. And we do those from left to right. So we have 25 minus 10 divided by 2 minus 5 times 2. So first we're going to do 10 divided by 2, because that's the first multiplication or division one. And that turns into 5. Everything else stays the same. And then we're going to do 5 times 2, which would then equal 10. So then we get 25 minus 5 minus 10. Okay? So then we would go to level 4, which is addition and subtraction, and we would do the math from left to right. So 25 minus 5 equals 20, and then 20 minus 10 equals 10. And I just want to point this out quickly. It is always best practice to write each step of an equation on a separate line. That way you do not get confused as to what you have done and what you have not done. So when you solve the expression above on your sheet, when you're writing this out, it should look like this. And let me just go to the next page so you can see it fully here. So it would be just like this. These are all of the steps that we did above, but this is how you would write it on your sheet when you're doing it, because you need to make sure you're doing one step at a time on each line. Otherwise, you're going to get confused. You're just far more likely to make mistakes, especially in a long expression like this. It would almost be impossible to keep track of what you've done and what you haven't done if you don't kind of follow this guideline. So you only want to do one step per line, and then write the whole equation out again with the answer to that step. So the first two lines are the same. But if we start from the second line, we do 5 times 5, and then we get 25. The rest of the expression stays the same. Then the next line, we do 6 plus 4, and then it's 10. The rest of the expression stays the same. Then we would do 10 divided by 2, which would then equal 5. Right? So it looks like there are a couple of duplicates here that we can get rid of. But this is how it should look on your piece of paper. Okay?